If it's happening in New York, New Jersey, or Long Island, hear about it with Joe Piscopo. Mornings, 6 to 10 on AM 970. The Answer.
Portions of this show sponsored by Route 22 Nissan.
Karol Markowicz, columnist for the New York Post. You know, you had a great column, Karol, and welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks
for
having
coming
me.
in live, girl.
Thank you for having me.
You dressed up and everything, you said.
For
I was
you
saying
guys.
radio man, I want a hat. I used to come in here with a hat. I remember Frankie, boom, a hat. Al Ray, we just wear it. I would look like Al, actually. I wouldn't care. Oh, sorry.
What do you mean? Why do you
look
do
very
that?
good, Al.
Thank
I know.
you.
Al doesn't
He
wear
always thinks that I dress like a slob because I'm not wearing a jacket or like Frank with the turtleneck or whatever.
This is fancy.
I dress comfortable.
This is Tommy Bahama?
Yes.
It is Tommy
Yes, it
Bahama.
is.
There's another person that does a sponsor that we plug constantly.
Keep plugging it.
Is it okay? I called Debbie Duhame, who I love dearly. Sweetie, you look great. I want to say, and you know what I find too? Like Celia, our intern, I'll say, thank you, sweetheart, like that.
Yeah.
And I feel, am I going to get a lawsuit now? Where are we, Karol? What are we doing? And you wrote the article say it's not anti-feminist to want to look good.
Right.
Yeah, honestly, you should dress up. And can I tell you that you look great?
Yeah, you could tell me I look great for sure. But yeah, it's a touchy time for that. You know, I would be careful if I was a man.
Yeah.
I'd be more careful about who I complimented, especially in the workplace.
Yeah, anything you say. And then this. And
I'm
then-
offended. I'm leaving. I'm calling you.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
I'm kidding.
So then this. We were just talking off mic about the girl I just hired from. You know, I go on this website, that care.com, which is great, and you could get your nannies kind of to watch my boy. So she was such a nice kid. She comes over. I told Michael, what do you think? They talk. Boom, boom, boom. I figure, okay, I'll hire this gal. So I shook her hand as she left, and then did a little shoulder, like a minor awkward shoulder bump hug. And as she, you know, because it's just like a sign. It's not like a hug. It's just like the little here. This isn't just a handshake. I really appreciate you considering. I'm going to put my child's life in your hands. Hug. Here's the. Then I walked away saying, was that inappropriate?
I'm sure it wasn't, but you know, and all the word right now is like, oh, if you don't, you know, if you're not breaking any laws, you have nothing to worry about. But I'm not sure that that's true. I would worry a little bit. I'd be a little careful if I were you. I'd be careful if I was any man. You know, it's, again, you just don't want. It's not like we're giving anybody a chance to explain the accusations.
Yeah.
It's like if there's an accusation against you, that's over. You know, it's over. So.
And then now the fascinating op-ed you had in the New York Post yesterday, which you write that wanting to lose weight or look good if you're a woman doesn't make you an anti-feminist.
Right. So, you know, it's February. December was obviously a big time of eating, drinking, going out. I really like to have a good time. I love pizza. I love drinking. I love Manhattans. I'm all about it. And, you know,
Frank's kind of gal.
Unfortunately, she's married.
Okay. Oh, wait. Did we just say something like
Oh, I'm sure. I'm used to it.
So, yeah, you know, and I love all that. And it gets to February, and I'm like, you know what? I think the December spilled over into January, and I could stand to lose a few pounds. And when I mention this to other women, they're like, oh, it's just the patriarchy wanting you to lose weight or look a certain way.
Wow.
And I don't think it is the patriarchy. I think it's just that my pants are too tight.
Simple as that.
You know, and I have friends who say to me, it's so nice that I could talk to you openly about dieting. Like, oh, I'm not eating carbs this month, or I'm doing the Whole30 or any of the other diets. And they just feel like it's betraying womanhood if you want to lose a few pounds.
Yeah, and the father-daughter dance. You following that? Now, you can't have a father-daughter dance. I had the best father-daughter dance. We talked about it on the air and Friday. We looked forward to it. My daughter was so excited, and she couldn't wait. And all the other dads, seeing the commitment of fathers to as fathers are ridiculed in the society, how they were so dedicated at this dance. Now we're not supposed to have it in New York.
Yeah, it's a crazy situation where we constantly talk about how much better kids' lives would be if they had their fathers more involved in them. And then here's the opportunity for the father to be more involved.
Exactly.
And we're like, you know what, maybe not. We don't want to offend anybody. And it's the not wanting to offend anybody is just our ethos, modern ethos right now. And it's just so unfortunate because being offended is just like part of life. You know, like sometimes you're going to get offended. Sometimes you're going to be left out. Like that's life.
I know. It's so funny and well said. You were born in Russia?
Yeah.
Where were you born in Russia?
It's called Samara now. It's like deep in Russia.
Oh, wow. Where
Yeah,
in
I'm
Russia?
not a spy.
Yeah, well, it's okay. We really enforce collusion on this show. We think it's great. It's a
Right.
jeez. It's Russia. Where is this? I should know where this is.
It's like east of Moscow. My father's from the Ukraine, and more people have heard where
Yeah,
he's from.
sure,
from
sure.
Lvov in the Ukraine.
Now you're a conservative columnist,
Right.
and a PR person in New
Who
York.
grew up in Brooklyn.
Yeah. Well, how did that all happen?
I'm not a PR person for many years already, but I used to be. I used to work on Republican campaigns. A lot of Russians that come to America end up being conservatives. You spend 80 years under communism. You kind of leftism's not for you.
What you just said is so riveting. People don't understand, do
Thank
they?
you. No, they don't.
Because you feel there's a progressive leftist movement here in the country. I've said it on time and time again, and I don't say it with any malice or any hate, because I actually absolutely like very much Bernie Sanders, but it's socialist, almost communist. This is not the life we want to lead, and you know firsthand.
Absolutely. The government should be involved in fewer, things in our lives, not more.
And in Russia, how old were you when you moved over?
Under 2.
Yeah.
But I went to school in America not speaking any English.
You came here? Oh, my gosh. And then did you get ridiculed for it? Did you get made fun of?
Of course.
Yeah, right,
it was the 1980s. It was not a great time to be Russian in America.
Oh, my gosh.
Rocky was out. It was not good.
Wait a minute.
Really tough times for me.
Drago.
Yeah. I was like, no, I'm rooting for Rocky, I swear.
You're rooting for Rocky.
I really want Rocky to win.
Oh, wait a minute. So as that film,
Yeah,
you were
that
at
was
school, you were
traumatic.
It was, really?
Yeah.
They started,
Of course.
which was a great film. We were talking
it's
about the
amazing.
merits. It was
It was
Rocky
so
4,
good.
Frankie, is that what it was?
Rocky 4.
Rocky
Yeah,
4
Rocky
was
IV.
great.
Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah.
Dolph Lundgren, it was great. And Bridget Nielsen.
break you.
Right. If you die, you die.
That's right. That's right.
People start saying that.
yeah.
Oh,
More
great.
Apollo Creed.
Oh, great.
Right.
But you could have complained. You could have started legislation to stop it. You could have had a Russian Al Sharpton to step up and defend you.
Yep.
And you could have, but no, you just.
I've actually written about how there is no Russian Al Sharpton and how awesome that is.
Look at that. Look at that.
Because I just feel like Russians, especially from my generation, they come here and they are here to be Americans. They're not here to be, a group. They're here to be American.
I'm sorry, but what would the Russian Al Sharpton look like? Would he be wearing tracksuits
I think
and
he'd
like
look
really
really
not pay his
similar,
taxes? A
actually.
Cossack.
Cossack.
Not too different.
But so true. And then we always have Dr. Elena Frid comes on the show. She's from Siberia, for crying out loud.
I have an aunt in Siberia.
Wow, man. Is she happy? I mean,
was
she put there by the government?
No.
Oh, okay.
And maybe generations ago, but no, now they've lived there for.
And the Russians come here with no complaints and are fine citizens. They become fine citizens of America.
They love themselves.
Can
so
I ask
America.
you, and your feeling of Vladimir Putin?
Not a fan.
Really?
No, not a fan. I mean, I love freedom. I love democracy. I love people getting to choose their leadership. I don't love somebody having a stranglehold in the country and killing off his enemies. No, I'm not into that.
I don't know why he has like this image here in America where he's like this tough guy with the shirt off all the time.
Right.
Do the Russian people like with the shirt off with Vladimir?
I think they do like the shirt off.
So funny. Isn't that funny?
Have you ever been to a Russian restaurant like in Brooklyn? We will have to go.
No, the Russian tea room was as far as I went.
No, nothing like that.
Okay.
This is like Vegas in Brooklyn, but in Russian.
Wait a minute. This is great.
Yeah,
This is
we'll
great.
go. We'll go. Right?
Okay. Do the waiters have their shirts off like Vladimir Putin?
Close. You gotta put on your finest,
We're talking with Karol Markowicz, who's great. She's a great gal. She says she has a great article that you have to read. You can check her out in the New York Post. It's not anti-feminist to want to look good. It's more of a health thing. If you want to lose weight, God forbid, and then they're thinking that you're trying to, it falls into the category of body shaming and everything else.
Right,
like
and I'm not trying to body shame anybody. If
yeah,
you're happy, I'm happy for you.
yeah.
But if you're not happy, do something about it.
Hey, Karol, before you let you go, thank
Yeah.
you. You're terrific, by the way. Thank you so much for being here. But you also had a great column a few months ago about the attacks on letting kids have best friends.
Yeah.
There's attacks on letting kids have best friends. And how silly is that?
It's crazy. We're just trying to micromanage our kids' lives. It's like we're bored in our own lives and like have to figure out what how we can micromanage our kids. I think it's crazy. I have 3 kids. One of them has a best friend. One of them just has a lot of different friends. It's like leave them alone.
Let it go. Yeah,
Leave them alone.
yeah. And what do you feel about the Russian allegations toward Donald Trump? Are you buying any of this?
I have yet to see anything concrete that ties him to anything that happened during the election. And more importantly, I've yet to see anything that that anything would have swayed the election for Hillary Clinton.
Yeah,
I don't see how any of the Russian allegations lost her the election. Not going to Wisconsin lost her the election.
I think Donald Trump, Vladimir Putin with their shirts off.
They love, you know. I know that there's some sort of like appeal for each other there. I don't know what that's all about. It might be shirt, you know. I just think they just get together, kick off their shirts, ride around on horses.
Karol Markowicz, you got to go to the New York Post or Google Karol Markowicz. Karol, great to have you with us.
Thank you so much.
Keep the fight, girl. You're making
Thank you.
you're making sense. God forbid in this politically correct
Thank
world.
you so much.
Yeah, politically correct constantly, and thank you so much, Karol.
Thanks.
I will see you out there. Hey, Al Gattulo standing by with his fancy Tommy Bahama shirt on. That is a very nice
keep
shirt.
ripping me.
I'm not. I like
just
the
got
shirt.
this. I just bought it like a month ago.
The collar, it's good. It's very.
You like
very,
it, and it's
very,
reversible. So that's the best part. What are you laughing about?
Joe, by the way, backed by popular demand, I've been informed that Karol will be on the Kevin McCullough show this evening as well.
Well, can you bring these headphones to Kevin?
Yeah,
by
we
the
stole
way?
his headphones.
It says KMC on the top. Would you
We're taking
mind?
them.
Would you mind?
Just take them, please.
All right, we'll be listening this afternoon. Hey, Al.
Everybody knows this guy. Now, everybody knows he can do a radio show. Joe Piscopo. Mornings, 6 to 10 on AM 970. The Answer.